See how they stopped once I started recording?
So where do I start a story like this? Because it's pretty weird. If I'm starting a story with showing you how my neighbor upstairs has been stomping me awake for 6 months, along with, and she's got paperwork, she's a pedophile, along with this guy, with him, his brother, and his 2 sons, all paperwork. And these guys over here, and this is the best story. This is where I should start. This is where I should start to show you how ridiculous this all is, right? So when they got so horrible that I was about to pretty much just be murdered, right? I went and stayed in a hotel room. At least that's what it seemed like to me. I didn't know the police in Coeur d'Alene were cool yet. And by cool, I mean, don't do drugs and crime and stuff. But if you're not, they don't just like jump you and ruin your life. That's why I moved here, actually. This crazy guy rolls up, right? So I'm with my girl and we're chilling at the park, you know, because they got beautiful parks here. You can roll right up to the beach of the lake, and it's like this huge park right on the beach. It's beautiful. We got good legs. So I'm sitting there, and this dude rolls up, and I can see right from the beginning this plate say New Jersey, and he's being horribly careful, and he's looking around like he thinks he wants to do something bad, right? Not like criminal, but like, you know, right? And he starts talking to us. And I don't say a thing, and I just start massaging her neck. And he gets more forceful about it. I don't say a thing, and she's like, "Are you gonna talk to him?" I go, "No, just ignore him. This is weird. We don't know this guy." And he rolled right up on us, started talking. $50 says it's really good that if he reaches over here, I'm gonna stab him in his fucking neck. And then he goes to get out the car, so I grab my knife and I go to, and he suddenly jumps in the car and goes, "Oh my gosh, what's wrong with you?" And remember, he's already threatened me 4 or 5 times at this point, right? I'm just chilling there with my girl. And I specifically picked her because I thought she was pretty and nobody else wanted her, right? That's like my thing. I'd rather have somebody who appreciates me. So anyway, right? Then he goes and gets out the car and goes and walks over to some young girls. And of course, you know, I'm thinking, yeah, right, yep, had that on right from the beginning. And then a bit later, a squad car comes up and pins us in, right? And then one, and then another one. And I just wait for them to walk up, and they just follow their orders. I do what I've always done, yes sir, no sir, answer the questions, no problem, right? She answers her questions, and then they tell us that they got a report of me strangling my girlfriend and screaming, right? And remember, this guy started this conversation with basically throwing at us things I know to be human trafficking and satanic cues in order to introduce himself as somebody who's visiting the town and wants to do damage. And by what I mean by damage is like not the cool stuff. I mean like the creepy stuff you hear about on TV and think doesn't exist. It does. So he's doing that. Goes, talks to them. Please roll up. They tell us that they got a report of me strangling her and screaming and beating her. I say, call the phone who made the report. The phone rings back to the group of girls. The group of girls who turn out to be breaking into their parents' coffee stand to pull the cash money that's left out of it. And they're embarrassed. So the police just let them go because they know the parents and I don't want to deal with it. It's one of those things. So once again, we got one of those kids that's in that situation, right? And then you got a guy who's looking for that, right? And we're just chilling. And they let me go. We go about our way. And when I get back, she tells me that technically she's got paperwork too. And that is one of the 3 incidences I've had moving through Coeur d'Alene where there were 3 confirmed people who got this problem around me. And despite them all trying to cause me a huge problem, the police here were sharp enough that I gotta go free and go home instead of doing days in jail because I was sitting there doing nothing. And to me, I've never had that experience before. I've never walked into a cop and then ended up not having my life ruined. I mean, I'm from Spokane. I mean, if you ain't from there, go there and try to be poor. See what happens. When you figure it out, you can see why it's known as Spooky Town. Don't go into Hilliard either. Just stay out that neighborhood. And it's not because it's so hard or so bad, it's because it's full of pedophiles.